Hi and welcome to Country Roots Farm. Today we have a dozer coming to the property and I'm so excited. It will be clearing beside our shed. That pile of trees that we had made last time was kind of hard for us to get into and manage trees that size. And I didn't really feel comfortable getting in there with a chainsaw and cutting those into sections. So I'm hoping that today the dozer can first start off by just separating those trees out. We can cut them into sections then and get them out of the way. But we are so excited to have Bulldozer Works out here again because he does a phenomenal job. And the other thing we'll be doing is finishing off the side field to the left of our shed that was started last time. Hopefully getting that done today as well. So stay tuned, it's gonna be great.
I'm very excited.
This is the side field that we started last time. The green area is what he was able to get done, and we're hoping to continue to push these trees back and have a bigger pasture over here. And then beside the shed to move the pile of trees, to clear more area around the shed so the trees aren't quite so close, and then to also push the trees back behind the bend of the driveway to give us more room there as well. But we're going to get started on the pasture side first. And obviously any big trees we will be keeping, so he's going around and leaving us good sized trees. A lot of the small trees are what he's taken out, and it's so nice to see these trees go. So this land was originally farmland, 100 years ago, and then it was harvested for timber. And then so they would grow pines on it and then harvest the pines, and then about 20 years ago or so they harvested it again and never replanted it. So what's now on the land is trees that have been left over time and the trees that have just grown up out of the roots from all the old trees. So it's just a lot of small trees that are difficult to deal with, but thankfully he is able to get through them. I mean, he literally is driving straight through them with this dozer and just pushing them out. It is amazing to see this transformation. It's already so much more open and already looks like we're ready to put some goats in here to get it started. And we found this friend. You see that black snake slithered across, so surprising friend there. And I'm thankful that he is using the root rakes on this pasture land because it is helping break the roots of all of these trees up so that we will not continuously fight them from regrowing, which is what's been going on this property for so long. So we're now working down beside the shed. This tree with the orange tape on it is not a property line by any means, but it was originally when we first bought the property and we were planning out our house site area to clear. And when we walked through the woods and got to this tree, we thought that this would be far back in the woods and that would give us quite a bit of room, which is true. We do have quite a bit of room, but we are going to end up going past it. But that's just awesome to even see that tree standing alone right there.
seeing that tree fall, man, that's something else. That's a big moment.
In order to have a place to put the burn pile, the first thing he had to do was move a lot of these small trees. So our line of wood started right at the edge of where our driveway was. And so he started by clearing out all of these small trees and pushing them to the side and leaving the pines standing. And then once he got all of those small trees out of the way, he's going to come in and push all of these big pine trees down first onto where the burn pile is going to be. And then he's going to come back and move all of these small trees on top of the big trees so that it makes a better burn pile. And then he'll have more room to continue clearing all around the burn pile as well. Now that he's got the pines down, he's going to come back and add those smaller trees that are all around right back on top of those pines. And you'll see him push into the pile over and over again to help condense it and keep it as tight as possible. And we did decide to do more of a linear burn pile instead of a big circle burn pile. For the way that we wanted our land cleared, a linear burn pile meant that we didn't have to push back into the woods as far. Instead, it gave us more of an opening at the front. And since one side of the burn pile is already open, like the trees aren't there to catch on fire because that's where our orchard is. Since that part's already open, we don't have to clear that side. And then the other side is where he's clearing into the woods. And it's amazing to see this tractor just move these trees like they are little toy blocks to play with when we couldn't get these trees to budge. That pile of trees that he just pushed into the pile was so difficult for us to manage. We thought we were going to be able to cut it up, and we were able to do some, but then it just turned out like branches were pinned on each other and it was just too complicated. But look at how much area is around this burn pile. So you do have to have 30 feet in order to burn something like this, and you also have to get a burn permit, which we'll have to get from the county. But this is so much space.
And saving all of these logs lets us make raised beds like this. So this is just pine trees stacked up. We use cedar posts, which were actually just cedar limbs that we hammered into the ground and then filled with dirt from the land. And then this is actually going to be a strawberry raised bed garden.
And no worries for the orange taped mark trees. Again, this is just a tree that we wanted to definitely keep and that our path ran beside. We're not near a property marker. All right, so for 10 hours with the dozer, it was phenomenal. This side field that we had started last time he was out here dozing, we planned this to be our first pasture on the farm, and he was about able to, what, double the size of this area?
Not a double.
So that's super exciting. We did already throw down some seed onto all this, so hopefully we'll get some rain and this will start growing and hold in all this dirt. And this was root raked as well as Joe's, so that means the topsoil is still here. You can see that it's not the super bright clay everywhere. It is mixed in with the clay, but there's still a lot of topsoil and nutrients in here, so hopefully the seeds will take. It's super exciting. We left pockets of trees in the pasture so that over time they'll continue to grow and they'll provide shade to whatever animal is grazing in here. And so it's also just really pretty natural looking, so it'll be exciting to see the grass and all grow. Down on the other side of the homestead, we have a huge burn pile to take care of. But we're super excited about it because
I'm not a big fire guy, so
right.
A huge burn pile to me is what most people's Friday night bonfires are. I'm not afraid of fire. I just not a big fan of just burning.
And this is going to be huge. Yeah. So. And having those cleared out once that's gone is going to be amazing. We'll end up using whatever is burnt out of that in our garden as well, because it'll just be nutrients for the soil as well there, so it won't be wasted. For 10 hours, it was amazing work. Obviously, anytime you have any kind of equipment come to your land, it puts you years ahead of what you would have been doing by hand. Couple things we want to talk about, the easier things for the dozer. If you have trees that you want down for sure and you are going to hire a dozer, do not cut those trees down before the dozer comes.
No.
Because getting a stump out is way harder if the tree is not attached. And so we did have several of those that we cut out a while ago. Like, we cut them out quite a while ago, but
you think the roots were starting to die off, it doesn't matter.
Nope, so they were pretty solid, and some of them weren't worth our time getting out, and we'll just put a pot on it and let it rot out. But
yeah, and when she means stumps, she means like they're cut down to the ground pretty low.
Yeah.
The mulcher hit it once, kind of took it down a little bit, but
some of
it's
them are
still significant stump. And
right.
Dozers just, without spending 20-30 minutes, that's a lot of money to get one stump out.
Right.
You're better off using an excavator, but
then that's another piece of equipment that you're having come out to your land. The other thing we ran into is we had a lot of trees that would be like an oak tree, and they'd be like 4 small oak trees growing together. And what David with Bulldozer Works was telling us is if you look at that and you get down under that soil, that's actually one old tree that was probably cut off years ago, because this land has been harvested multiple times for the wood, and that stump that's under there is massive, and that's really, we had one that he took out.
Oh, it's the size of a car. Or
yeah.
at least an ATV.
He probably went 5 feet or more into the ground around this thing to get this stump out.
A small pond, practically, right. Just to get this stump out.
Right.
And it, on the top, on the surface, it was just little trees like this.
Yeah.
Because they were grown into that old stump.
So it's definitely an adventure. We definitely learn something new every single time, but is it worth it?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
100%. Like, we couldn't do this by hand.
30 minutes with a dozer is 10 or
hours.
20 weekends
Yeah.
of my work, my
Yeah.
physical labor.
So for us to save up and then use that money to put us that much further ahead on our land is absolutely worth it. And so just weigh your options. Of course, we've done a lot by hand, but anytime we have equipment come out, it's like, dang, we're doing this.
And we have a subcompact tractor, but
Right.
honestly, even a mid-range tractor, 30, 40, 50 horse tractor, you're just gonna tear your equipment up.
Oh yeah.
And the repair costs, tearing up a bush hog, I mean, anything, you're better off just paying to have the proper equipment come in the first time
Right.
and do it right and go from there.
Yeah, and if we had unlimited funds, we'd throw it out the property and get it cleared off, but
Yeah.
that's not the case. So what we do is we save and we plan. So it just takes time. Like, we know that this is going to be a long time of us turning this into what we want, and that's part of the beauty of it. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more progress.
And like, subscribe, and tell us about what you've got going on. Tell us, have you done this before? What was your best experience? Was it excavators, mulchers, dozers, handheld equipment? What's your best favorite? Goats?
Oh yeah,
You've seen
we're
goats.
definitely planning on that in the future. That'd
Goats
be
clearing out land,
Yes.
pin them up, let them clear a few little
Yeah.
acres. But yeah, you guys comment, tell us how you would handle raw land.
Or if you have any questions, let us know that too. Hopefully we can help.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.